Low testosterone is a risk for low muscle mass, terrible performance in the bedroom, and in the worst cases, even death. And testosterone levels as a man is something that you should 100% be aware of, because experts suggest that since 1999, testosterone levels in men have dropped almost 25%. So here's the story behind that. In 2020, the American Urology Association met up and they were having a discussion about why is there a drop in testosterone? What does the data suggest and what exactly is happening? One expert suggested that the reason for the average drop in testosterone in men in the population at whole is because people are getting older, right? The older population is increasing, and after age 30, your testosterone levels are dropping at a rate of around 2% per year. So logically speaking, by the time you're in your 50s, your 60s, your testosterone levels are low. And if we average all of that in the population and we have more people who are older, then the average would be lower. With that, the case could be closed, but experts were suggesting that even in younger men, testosterone levels are dropping. So after they controlled for age, race, and other factors, they found that yes, the average testosterone in men have declined by almost 25% within a matter of 17 years. So they were looking at 1999 to 2016. And to add more to the evidence, there was another really strong study that was published in 2017. And this study suggests that from 1970 2010, there's more than a 50% decrease in male fertility. And the way they measure male fertility is by sperm count. So there's more than a 50% decrease in male sperm counts from 1970 to 2010. What the going on? So now that we got that out the way, we know that there is definitely a concern for male reproductive health. And if you haven't gotten your testosterone levels checked yet, you might want to look out for these signs or symptoms to let you know that, hey, there could be something wrong. So men with low testosterone, they may experience fatigue, hair loss, hot flushes, depression, man boobs, low libido or sex drive, low sperm count, trouble getting an erection, and a poor ability to concentrate or focus. So if you fit into any of those things, you might want to be concerned and you may want to go ahead and get your testosterone levels checked. But if you want to boost your testosterone naturally, I'm going to give you the exact things that you can do. First, and the most important step, is to drop body fat. For men, the safe range, I would say, is 10 to 19%, but just to be ideal, somewhere between 10 to 15% would work better. It gives you that leeway where you're not too shredded so you feel terrible, but you also have visible abs so that you're confident, you can take your shirt off by the pool and you feel good. So 10 to 15% body fat, we're on the ideal. Now, the reason why dropping body fat works is because in the fat cells, there's a hormone called aromatase. Now, the aromatase converts the testosterone to what we call estradiol. This is a version of estrogen, and that decreases your testosterone levels and increases your estrogen. And if you gain enough body fat, that's why you see a lot of men end up with man boobs. Now, how do you go about dropping body fat? If you want to drop body fat, I have a video called How to Lose Belly Fat, and it applies to dropping body fat in general as well. You can watch that video, it's in the description. The second thing that I recommend you do in order to boost your testosterone levels naturally is getting in some form of exercise, especially some form of lifting weights. And the reason why I say get physically active is because research has shown that men who are physically active, they have better semen parameters, which means they have better sperm counts, and they have better hormone values than men who do not exercise. So what type of exercises should you do? As I mentioned before, resistance training is definitely a must-have. I recommend getting in some lifting 2 times per week at minimum and try to hit every single body part when you lift, okay? The second thing that I would recommend is some form of aerobic training. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean you have to go and run. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to do hill sprints or cycling or whatever. It could just simply be playing some sports. If you like football, go play some football. If you like basketball, I love basketball, so I play basketball. So let's move on to step number 3 for boosting testosterone. Get your sleep. Like, seriously. Research has shown that after 1 week of sleep deprivation, your testosterone levels can drop 10 to 15%. So just to give you a little details on that, what happened was they reduced the sleep to 4 hours per night. And then the other group, they slept amply around 7+ hours. And again, the testosterone levels in the group that slept only 4 hours for the entire week, testosterone levels dropped 10 to 15%. So if you want to maintain high testosterone levels, get your sleep. What is up? Thank you for watching the video, and I want to say 2 things. Please like it so that the algorithm can push it. more people so they could get the value as well. And then 2, subscribe so that you're the first person to know when a new video drops so that you can achieve the health and lean body of your dreams. The 4th recommendation for maximizing your testosterone levels is eating a healthy diet. Generally speaking, holistic nutrition is what you should focus on, making sure you're getting your fruits, your veggies, your vitamins, your minerals, your proteins, your carbs, your fats, all that. However, what I will say particularly, there's 3 nutrients that play a huge role, as far as I know, in your testosterone production that you can really dial in on. That would be vitamin D. Go out there, get your son or take some form of vitamin D supplementation. Getting in healthy fats, so eat salmon, get in your omega-3s, your omega-6s. Now, cholesterol is definitely a precursor to testosterone, but what I will say is that your body produces cholesterol on its own. So it's not a necessity. What's a necessity is your essential fats. So that's why I emphasize getting in your omega-3s, your omega-6s. And the last nutrient that is particularly important in the role of producing testosterone is zinc. So one food group that's really, really good at providing you with zinc is shellfish. So we're talking oysters, clams, shrimp, lobster. So if you like those type of stuff, eat more of them. But for me personally, I'm allergic, so I can't have them. If you're like me, you could supplement zinc in that case if you feel like you're deficient. 5th thing for maxing out your testosterone is manage your stress levels. Too much stress is going to tank your testosterone. Now, the exact reason for why your stress levels tank your testosterone, I don't have the answer to. However, what I can say is that when you have high levels of stress, you're at higher risk for fat gain, less sleep, and inflammation. And those 3 things, when you combine them, could lead to a tank in testosterone. And the last thing I could say for maximizing your testosterone naturally is avoiding drugs. Excess alcohol, excess smoking, exposing yourself to a lot of estrogen-like chemicals can also lead to a drop in your testosterone. There's one substance that a lot of people are afraid of because it will tank your testosterone and it will boost estrogen levels, and that is soy. And I'll tell you the reason why you should not worry about it. Now, before I get into that, I want to preface this. I do not consume soy products, generally speaking. I don't drink soy milk. I drink regular milk. I don't particularly like tofu. I stick to my regular meat and animal products. Now, soy contains chemicals called phytoestrogens. And when you consume high levels of this, it can have effect on your testosterone and produce estrogen-like symptoms. So how much is high? Now, here's the important part, because the point I want to get across is the dose makes the poison. The only way you're going to see some form of soy boy effect from consuming soy is if you consume enough of it to get enough of those phytoestrogens. Now, the threshold, based on research, right? Threshold probably for consuming too much phytoestrogens is 75 milligrams. Now, in order for you to consume 75 milligrams of phytoestrogens per day, you need to consume 12 ounces of tofu every day, 2 ounces of dry roasted soybeans every day, 40 ounces of soy cheese every day, or 15 patties of a soy burger. So if you consume that every single day, then there is a risk based on research, because there's a high quality evidence that took a look at this. They look at all the different studies and the level of phytoestrogens and see how that affected testosterone levels. And in no other cases except the cases where the phytoestrogen content or the isoflavone content was more than 75 milligrams, there was an effect. With that, do you need to absolutely lose your if you eat a soy product? No. Does this mean that you should drink gallons of soy milk every single day and make the majority of your foods some form of soy product? Absolutely not, because there is a real risk. I'm not telling you that there's absolutely nothing to worry about. Now, here's an example. There was a particular case, one kid. I have no idea what this kid was doing, but he was drinking around 3 liters of soy milk a day. For what reason? I have no idea. But anyway, he went to the doctor, and long story short, he had erectile dysfunction and his testosterone levels were not good. So the verdict, if you want to max out your T levels, if you want to cut out all soy, up to you, right? There is a real risk. I know there's people out there like, oh, you know, that's disproven. Look, listen, it's disproven at certain doses, but there is a threshold where if you go above that, your T levels will tank. Okay, let's get that straight. So the last thing that I do want to mention in terms of what type of substances to avoid is BPAs. So a study was done where guys were working in a factory that had high exposure to BPAs. And then there was another set of dudes who were working at a tap water factory. And the guys who, over a 6-month period, guys who were in the BPA factory, they had significantly less testosterone than the guys who were working in the tap water factory. Again, in this case, the dose makes the poison. How much of the exposure to BPAs do you need to avoid? I don't know. I can't tell you. They didn't really give a lot of details there. However, what I can say is be cautious of products that have BPAs in them. So a lot of plastics, some cans, and clothing that has this substance as well. For me, I'm a straight cotton guy. And I want to make this clear one more time as I'm saying this with the BPAs. The dose makes the poison. How much BPAs are you being exposed to? That is the question, right? So if you like wearing a polyester pants that suits your style and you wear it like one time a week, who the cares? Just wear it. If you stand in the sun too long, it will kill you. Literally, too much exposure to anything is a problem. The dose makes the poison. So keep that in mind when I tell you about these chemicals, right? This also includes my recommendation for the alcohol and other drugs. Too much is a bad thing. Do it ever so often, socially, whatever. Who cares? Okay? So I just want to end that off with that because I'm a person, my background is pharmacy, right? And it really does get under my skin when people make these claims, especially those videos. Have you ever seen those videos where people are like walking through the supermarket and like, oh, this is bad. Oh, don't eat broccoli. Spinach is gonna kill you.
This is bullshit. Spinach, this is not the stuff of Popeye, you guys. This is an oxalate bomb. Oxalates are associated with joint pain, all sorts of pain and fatigue in humans.
It just makes no sense. Like, these people have nothing else to do with their lives than to go out and bash every single... If we listen to people who walk through the grocery stores and say things are bad, we would not be eating anything. I remember this one dude, he literally walked into a Costco, saw a bottle of water. He saw a bottle of water and he was like, don't drink this because blah, 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 something. The dose makes the poison. And that'll be it for this video. I hope you got value from it. I hope you learned something about how to maximize your testosterone naturally. And if you want to do that number one thing, which is drop body fat to maximize your testosterone, click the link down below and apply to have a conversation with me to see how we can help you drop that body fat. Coach Warren out.